boys and girls, moms and dads, family, pets, and whatever you are, it's showtime! I'm the Giggler, master of ceremonies for A.J. Molloy's last mission as commander of the Kairos. I've devised a hilarious trap your commander won't be able to avoid. I just love funny business.
Time. The most precious treasure in the universe. Our mission? To explore it. To travel through history, unraveling its mysteries, unlocking its secrets, unleashing its energy. Knowledge is power.
Well, it's a great big world. And it's been around a long, long time.
A.J. Time Travelers, traveling through history, unlocking its secrets.
The ring is the key.
A.J. Time Travelers,
Question unravelers.
knowledge is power. A.J. Time Travelers.
AJ, I think you're gonna like the new fabric softener I used on your socks. Science, EST potentia. Must be Spanish. These computer games today are so lifelike. AJ's ring. He never takes this off. There's science, oh, knowledge is power.
Ciencia es potencia!
Hello? Where am I? I don't remember adding this room onto the house. Or did someone clean out the garage?
This isn't your home, Pops. It's a time machine. Kairos!
Dad? What are you doing on the Kairos? Giggler. Leave my dad alone. I'm the Molloy you want.
But, Commander, you can't get here from there. You don't have your ring. Ciencia es potencia. Ciencia es potencia.
What have you done with my crew?
Oh, they send their regrets. Seems they got tied up and couldn't make it in today.
You don't see action like this on Siskel and Ebert. I give it 6 thumbs up.
Giggler, what lame riddle do you want me to solve this time?
I don't need a riddle because it's time for a pop quiz.
A pop quiz? You've never given me a pop quiz.
Not you, Commander. Your pop. Get it? Pop quiz. Looks like you're gonna need a little inspiration. I suggest you quickly search through your piddly adventures for examples of how people triumphed over tremendous odds. I'll pop back in. Oh, I don't know. Soon.
This is going to be impossible.
The disk is very important. It's the only way to save the knowledge from our mission.
Of course, the disc! Dad, get ready for a crash course in history.
This time travel thing, it's just so nutty.
Dad, this is important. I need you to pay attention, or you're going to be banished to eternity, and the Giggler's going to take over the Kairos.
Should I stop matching your socks, son?
Yes. I'm going to take you back through history and teach you what you need to know to pass the Giggler's pop quiz.
Uh-huh. What does this do? Whoa.
Don't touch anything.
Right you are, AJ.
Stand by. Accessing Kairos time travels. Engage inventors.
Inventions! Inventions! Everybody step up and get to your inventions! Money talks, nobody walks! Yeah! Oh, boy, I got just the thing for you. A non-reflecting mirror.
Hey, I can't see myself.
Perfecto! Everybody wins!
Until today,
Wrapping things around was not very easy. See how hard Doggy Boy has to work? Dragging the card all over Mesopotamia can really poop your puppy.
You're telling me?
That's why I invented the wheel.
Johann Gutenberg, you were one of the first and most important travelers on the information superhighway.
And I thought I was a failure.
Sounds like you had one of the most successful lives ever.
Huh? You die and learn.
Get ready for man's first step on the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
My theory is correct. The further you get from Earth, the less gravity pulls on you.
Sir Isaac Newton, the man most responsible for getting us to the moon.
Where are we going?
To the future.
Oh, well, the future. The future? Let me out of here, you've all gone daft!
Behold the future.
People will use your steam engine to operate large machines. Factories will spring up like weeds. As workers move to be near factories, villages will grow into towns. And towns will grow into cities. Years from now, historians will call this the Industrial Revolution.
Did I miss anything?
Only how Mr. Watt's steam engine changed the world. It was a revolution.
An industrial revolution.
And all this will happen because of me?
Sure will.
Not only that, but in future centuries, people will measure power in units called watts, named after you.
I don't know what to say.
Well, we do. Thanks, Mr. Watt.
And thank you, laddies, for showing me that future. And a bonny fine future it is.
The inventor's code is figure out what you need to make your invention and then to build it through trial and error.
Oh, good boy, good boy, good boy.
You see, I'm in charge of errors.
That's a very responsible position for such a young man.
Well, I worked my way up from miscues and blunders.
I'm kind of stalled on faux pas myself.
Yes.
Faux pas? Get it? Faux pas? Is this thing on?
What's so important about errors?
Glad you asked. They show us the wrong solution to a problem so that we can move on to find the right solution.
Psst. Weren't other people trying to invent the light bulb, too?
I should say there were, and I just did. Many of them, but they became discouraged and gave up. I guess my real genius is that I never gave up. I tried more than 3,000 things before I came upon a bamboo filament that would keep my light burning bright for weeks. And with that, you made history.
Dad, you're not paying attention. This is important stuff.
Sorry, son, but what is this?
We use it to look back in time. It's a time telescope.
Ah, of course it is. Wish me luck, Mother. I'm off to service the septic tank. You know, son, sometimes you have to take the high road, even though it's not the popular road. But whatever road you take, son, take it with dignity.
The science fair's coming up next month, and I don't have any ideas.
How about completing Einstein's unified field theory? Or Heisenberg's uncertainty principle? Or you could recreate living dinosaurs from a single strand of prehistoric DNA.
All the kids are doing those. I want something really special.
I know. How about collecting a bunch of bugs in little jars? Abracadabra!
It didn't work. We didn't disappear.
There goes there goes $5 right out the window. Ooh. Black was never my color.
Ready to go back to work, Dad?
A man's work is never done, son. It's time to roll up our sleeves and get dirt under our nails.
Hang on, Dad. Let me figure out where we need to go next.
Stand by. Accessing Kairos time travels. Engage. Triumph of the human spirit.
Right, attention! Sister, eyes front, tuck in that gut, mister!
It is in.
As you were, where am I? Have I been shot down?
We've come from the future to meet someone who's fighting in 2 wars at the same time.
Does that make any sense to you?
Unfortunately, it does.
My men and I are fighting a war against Hitler, and we're also fighting a war against segregation.
Segregation? I don't think I know what that means.
You're from the future? And you don't know what segregation means? Glad to hear it. Segregation means the separation of whites from colors.
You know, I used to have that problem, but now with all temperature laundry detergent, you can put the whole shebang together, and they all go with...
He's referring to people. Jackie, I think the time is right for a colored man to play in the majors. And I think you're the man who can take the Dodgers all the way next year and give the Yankees a run for their money.
Thank you, Mr. Ricky.
Well, it's the right thing to do, and I think you're the right man. But I don't have to tell you, there are plenty of people who won't like this. They'll be out to get you. So you have to promise me that no matter what they say or do, you will not fight back for a whole year. You think you can do that?
A whole year? I don't know.
Well, let's find out, shall we? Come on in.
You worthless, steaming pile of junk! You don't belong in the major leagues! You're not good enough to play with white people! You make me sick! Why don't you go back where you came from?
Thank you.
Anytime, Mr. Ricky.
Well, Jackie, it looks like you can take it.
So what happened? Did Jackie stay out of fights?
Were more African Americans allowed to play?
Did the Dodgers ever win the World Series?
Yes! Jackie was a smashing success! At first, he was treated badly by players and fans, but he rose above it to become baseball's Rookie of the Year. In fact, that honor is now called the Jackie Robinson Award. He turned his promise not to fight back for a single season into a triple by not fighting back for 3 years. Edgar Allan Poe, this is your lousy life. You were born on January 19th, 1809, to poor but honest family. Your father quickly deserted your family, and your mother died by the time you were 3.
Yeah, it's about that time people stopped calling me Mr. Lucky.
First book, a total failure. Dismissed from West Point, married your cousin.
I thought she looked familiar.
Failed as a magazine editor. Heartbroken, penniless, lonely, neurotic. Hello, I repeat, you married your cousin. I could go on, but...
Please. Our family pet was an albatross. My favorite childhood game was pin the blame on the donkey. And our family crest was, what do you think? 2 mental patients wrestling a pharmacist.
Don't be so hard on yourself. Out of the ashes and despair of your wretched life, you created a style of storytelling that will live forever. Every creepy book, every horror film, every detective story that baffles the television viewer owes a debt to Edgar Allan Poe.
It doesn't matter. I married my cousin. I'm a moron. But hey, as long as you have your health.
There was only one paper Miss Bly wanted to work on. The New York World, published by her hero, Joseph Pulitzer.
So what was Mr. Pulitzer like?
The man was no prize. For one thing, he wouldn't give me a job.
What'd you do?
I wouldn't let a little thing like a no stop me. So I refused to leave the building. And when that didn't work, I sneaked past the guards to get into Mr. Pulitzer's office. Mr. Pulitzer, you've just gotta listen to me. You've just gotta. If you hire me,
I'll pretend to be a mentally disturbed woman and get inside the mental hospital at Blackwell's Island. Ha-ha.
Doesn't look like you'll have to pretend.
That way I can write a story telling your readers about the terrible conditions there.
Look, Nellie Bly exposes mental hospital.
She got the job.
For the past 10 years, Mrs. Roebling has been supervising the biggest engineering project in America.
That's really impressive. How come you don't want anybody to know about it?
Oh, well, it just isn't done.
You have to remember, AJ, this is 1883, very different from our time. In polite society, it's considered not nice for women to work, let alone supervise a multi-million-dollar engineering project being built by thousands of men.
Precisely. It would be so unladylike.
Hey! Where are those boxes? They should have been here by now! Hey, come on, we're on the clock here. You don't want this job. I got 10 other guys that do.
Let me tell you about people's spirit. My people can't go where we want to go, eat where we want to eat, say what we want to say. We can't even get a drink of water at a drinking fountain in the park. Do you know what that does for your spirit?
Things will get better. You will become a symbol of justice and nonviolence all over the world. Through your bravery and dedication, you will give millions of people hope and renewed spirit. You will touch their lives.
Can we go home now?
We can't go yet. Not until we find out why you did this.
It was a test. We climbed this mountain as a test. A battle of the wills between man and nature. And every time my stomach growled with hunger, every time I was too tired to take even a step, every time I was woozy from lack of oxygen, I remembered that mountain I was clinging to and my promise not to let it beat me.
Wow, you did this just to see if you could.
My life is not about doing things I'm sure I can do. It's about doing things I'm not sure I can do. It's about conquering uncertainty and fear.
This is hopeless. We're never gonna get through all this information.
Nice moves, Pop. Ready for your pop quiz?
I don't believe it. The Giggler's finally going to get the Kairos.
Okay, Commander Pop Malloy, get ready to stumble. Question 1. Who perfected the steam engine and started a revolution where no shots were fired?
What?
That's right, Dad. James Watt perfected the steam engine in 1765, which helped to start the Industrial Revolution.
That's so funny, Team Malloy. Just try and answer question 2, Pop. Who's the person most responsible for man's trip to the moon?
We landed on the moon? Oh, refreshments. Thank you. Fake Newtons. Newton. Of course. Sir Isaac Newton was the person most responsible for getting us to the moon. His theory of gravity showed us the path to the moon, and his laws of motion helped us build the rocket to get there.
Way to go, Dad!
I love the smell of correct answers in the morning.
And you thought I wasn't paying attention. Go ahead. Ask me anything you want.
Ooh, cocky! How amusing! Get ready to hand over the Kairos. Question 3. Name 3 accomplishments of the Tuskegee Airmen.
Well, I can't name 3 accomplishments of the Tuskegee Airmen, but I can name 3 actors who played Tarzan.
Huh? But that's not my question.
But I can't answer your question. Don't you have a panel of judges we can appeal to, like they do on Jeopardy?
No! That's for an alternate correct response, not an alternate question. I win! I win! Hand over the keys to the Kairos!
Not so fast, Giggler! The judges are reviewing Mr. Malloy's request.
Hello? Tension!
Izzy!
Good news. Looks like Mr. Malloy's alternate question has been approved by our panel of judges.
Giggler, you may proceed with Mr. Malloy's question.
I don't believe it. Yes, I do. Okay. Name 3 actors who played Tarzan.
Geez Louise. Let me see. Well...
He doesn't know the answer to his own question.
Ah, yes. There was Buster Crabbe, the swimmer, Johnny Weissmuller, and, of course, let's see, Ron Ely.
Judges say...
He's right! Ooh, and I was so close this time! Ooh, it was a perfect plan. I never did like Tarzan. And what's with all the hints? It's a conspiracy, I tell you. Ooh, oh, no! I'll never get out of this box!
Good job, Dad.
And Mother thought I was wasting so much time watching television, huh? See, AJ, I learned something.
Yeah, Dad. You sure did.
Thanks, Mr. Malloy. You saved the Kairos.
And remember, knowledge is power.
Thanks for coming to the rescue, guys. Bit, take the scenic route, bring my dad home.
Commander, we should drop your father off 5 minutes before any of this happened.
Good idea, Ollie. I'd hate to explain all this to Mom.
What a handsome dog. Thanks. You're not so bad yourself.
Thank you very much. You've been a great audience. Be sure to tip your waitress.